Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we do a deep dive into this breaking news scandal all about, Nia Long and her fiance, Ime Udoka, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a key is always better with community. And also be sure to check out the description box below and also shop our love collection. We have a ton of goodies down there. So go ahead and shop and treat yourself. You might need a little bit of love after we dive into all of these allegations that's going on with Nia and Ime. I mean, oof, wow. So, as a refresher, we all know that, a couple days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, it broke that, Ime Udoka, who is the head coach or who was the head coach of the Boston Celtics of the NBA, was suspended due to allegations that he, violated the team's policies. Then it came out that he had a quote unquote consensual affair, and that kind of led to his suspension. Since then, people may be debunking and questioning this word consensual. We'll get into it as we dive into more of what's been going on with him. Also, Nia Long was blindsided. She started dating him in 2010. They share a child together. He's 10 years old. And they've been engaged since 2015. And apparently she was completely blindsided by the whole situation. I'm going to read a couple of articles so we can get into it. And then, as I read, as we go into the allegations, we'll talk. I'll give my perspective and we'll just talk about it. We'll get into it. So with that, let's go. Okay, so this is from the Atlanta Black Star. So this is from the Atlanta Black Star. It says, report, Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka cheated on Nia Long with team's travel agent who helped Long relocate to Boston before affair was discovered by agent's husband. The identity of one of the female staff member that Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka reportedly cheated on Nia Long with has been partially revealed. This comes days after the 45-year-old made headlines for facing a year-long suspension for violating the organization's code of conduct. On September 24th, according to TMZ, Udoka, who was ultimately suspended for the 2022 to 2023 season following the scandal, was allegedly having an affair with the team's travel agent. Despite the female staff member's job description being released to the public, no additional information has been revealed. Multiple sources close to the couple and the Boston Celtics franchise claim that the agent had helped Udoka make all of his travel arrangements, including organizing trips for Long to travel to Boston in road games. To make matters worse, the employee also assisted in helping Long and her 10-year-old son, Kaz Udoka, permanently moved to Boston a few weeks ago. Although the agent's name hasn't been publicly released, the news outlet reports that Long has been told who the woman is. One day following the previous reports, Entertainment Tonight host Kevin Frazier revealed on Twitter that Udoka's alleged affair with a female staff member was uncovered after her husband overheard a conversation on their doorbell camera. He said, multiple sources confirm, #Celtics female staffer affair with Celtics coach #Ime Udoka was uncovered by her husband when he overheard a private conversation on the home doorbell camera. As the tweet circulated online, many expressed how messy things are getting as more updates regarding Udoka's scandal are being released. This is getting messier by the day. The story keeps getting more worse. How does the story keep getting worse? Sheesh. Oh, Lord, this is getting messy. Among the previous remarks, one social media user sent well wishes to actress Nia Long. They wrote, "The scars, the questions, the betrayal. Much peace to Nia Long. People will say they love you and leave you devastated." All right, what that fan tweeted might be more applicable than we even know. So this article is just literally scratching the surface of this situation. Now, that is the background story. That's the foundation, right? Nia Long has been engaged to Ime. He's been the head of the Boston Celtics coach of the NBA. He was caught having an affair with one of the staffers, one of the travel agents who is also married. And then he subsequently got suspended. They did an internal investigation. They hired an outside law firm back in July. He never told Nia about this. He had her move up there a couple weeks ago, whatever it is, very recently, only to have it be revealed that he's suspended and this affair is coming out. Now, what makes this even darker is what is coming out more. Because you might be thinking, yes, it's morally reprehensible for him to cheat on his fiance, to cheat on the mother of his child. Yes, it's totally gross that he's doing it with someone that he works with. Whoa, it's even messier that the alleged woman that he had the affair with, that's right, everything in this video is alleged, rumored. Okay. Yes, it's really gross and disgusting that the woman that he's allegedly having this affair with is also married. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But is that enough for a law firm to be hired by the NBA, by the Boston Celtics, to investigate? Is that enough for him to have a year-long suspension, which is essentially a prelude to him being fired? Is that enough? Is that enough? And why did they expressly use the word consensual in their initial, breaking of the story? Why were they, really expressing that word? I had those questions, and so did Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes, I don't really follow him. I don't really know who he is. I think he's a basketball player too. So he came out and he had all these questions. So he had all the smoke for us. And, he was defending him, affairs happen. Is it cool? No, but it happens. And then Matt Barnes had to come out and sort of backtrack now that more is being revealed about Ime's alleged double life. And this is where it really gets messy. So let's see what Matt Barnes had to say when he was backtracking. And then I'm going to get into all of the allegation, guys. I just want to give this, foundation, and we can take it step by step. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to read this article. And this is from the Sports Rush. Okay. This is from the Sports Rush. All right, you guys, here it is. Okay, so it says, oh my God, so many things. Okay. Welp, Matt Barnes says Ime Udoka's situation is 100 times uglier than any of us thought. After initially coming to Ime Udoka's defense upon learning about his suspension, Matt Barnes is changing his tune. According to the former NBA player, he came to Udoka's defense without knowing the entirety of the situation, and now that he does know more, he claims things are a lot worse than anyone could have imagined. He goes on to say, "Last night, without knowing all of the facts, I spoke on Ime Udoka's defense, and after finding out the facts after I spoke, I erased what I posted because this situation in Boston is deep, it's messy, it's 100 times uglier than any of us thought," Barnes said. "Some things happen that I can't condone, I can't back, and it's not my place to tell you what happened," he continued. "If it ends up coming out, it ends up coming out. But that is the reason why I erased my post last night, because after I posted it, I got a call from someone who ran all the details. And that ish is deep. Praying for everybody involved. Hope everyone gets through this." Damn. Damn. After he first heard the news, Barnes initially posted a message saying he was surprised that Udoka was suspended as head coach for the Celtics after the scandal came to light. He said, "I played in the league for a long time. Anyone who played in the league can tell you this is a very common situation," Matt explained at the time. "This is not news for people who have been in the league or even around organizations. But judging from Barnes's change of tune, it seems like the consensual relationship Udoka had with the Celtic staffer is a lot messier than the organization is letting on. Unfortunately, it seems like actual details are coming to light. Okay. Now, let's talk about some of those actual details, okay? Let's talk about some of those actual details. So, what has been alleged? Let's get into it. Again, all of this is alleged. All of this is rumored. I'm gonna go into it. So, a couple of things. Let's start with where this started. So, this started with the staffer / travel agent, right? Saying, oh, they had this consensual, I'm doing consensual in quotes, relationship. And that is why he violated the team's policies. That's why he's being suspended. So that was the first story. Then the second story that came out was, oh, no. This female staffer, she's actually married. And she's actually married to one of the vice presidents of the Celtics. And so once their affair was discovered, the vice president, who was her husband, said this has to stop right now, like no more. Allegedly, she said, okay, I'll stop the affair. But then she ended up continuing the affair. And that the vice president found out about the affair through a conversation that they had on their doorstep. And I guess it's like the Ring or something. The conversation was recorded, and he ended up finding out about the affair through the audio and video recording on the doorstep. And then once he found out that they actually had not stopped having sex, they had not stopped having the affair, then allegedly she was like, oh, actually, he AR'd me. I broke up the affair. I didn't want to be with him anymore. He couldn't take it, and he forced me into it. And they're saying, so this was the other story. He forced me into it. And then that's when they're like, oh, well, if he forced you, then we're going to do this internal investigation. We're going to suspend him, all of this stuff, X, Y, and Z. Mind you, to my knowledge, maybe they have, maybe they haven't, I'm not sure yet, but to my knowledge, the Celtics and the NBA have not yet engaged law enforcement. What I have heard is that they hired an outside law firm to do an internal investigation into MA. This happened in July. They did it over the course of a couple of months. And what they found was that he needed to be suspended. They just said it was very weird, disturbing stuff. They're not leaking exactly what was found, but we're going to go into what the allegations are in a little bit. And they said that none of the women, because we're going to get into it. Remember, this broke with just one woman, but it's been spiraling into more women, right? None of the women will be held. I'm not going to say held accountable, because there are allegations that they were forced and coerced, but none of the women are going to have any consequences or repercussions for this. Only Ime was found to be at fault in a sense where he actually needed suspension, potential firing, and repercussions. Okay, so that was one story. Then we have over here, this is from Heel Baked Bets. And Heel Baked Bets is saying, sources, a major news story will be breaking within the coming weeks regarding a Boston Celtics. High-ranking Celtics officials have had to return home from an international vacations to deal with this abrupt fiasco. Stay tuned. This will be a major deal when the story breaks. Then he goes on to tweet, Udoka was involved in multiple workplace affairs, one of which resulted in a pregnancy, hence the very sensitive nature of the situation the Celtics are trying to deal with. Okay. Now, this might be more in alignment with what Matt Barnes was talking about. He came out and he was sort of like us, like, yes, this is disgusting. This is morally reprehensible. This is gross and grimy, but is this illegal? Is it a moral conduct clause? That's why he's being suspended? But if that's the case, everybody in the NBA will probably be suspended, or 95% of them. You know what I mean? What's the deal? But now it's coming out that it's not just this one staffer. It's not just, a scorned husband. It's not just, and again, if a woman says she was forced, I just believe her, hands down. To me, you're a victim until proven otherwise. So I'm not going to say what her name is or anything like that on my channel until if it's proven otherwise, then I will say what her name is. But until then, I'm just going to call her the affair, the alleged woman, whatever the case is. Okay. But now it's coming out that maybe this was just put out there to sort of get get us off the trail of what the true scandal is. So like he's saying, involved in multiple workplace affairs. Allegedly, Ime has been running essentially his own brothel when it comes to the female staffers, the female women who work at the NBA, who work with the Boston Celtics. Allegedly, he has had multiple affairs with many women, some of which has, ended up with these women becoming pregnant. And then allegedly, he has forced them to no longer be pregnant. You get what I'm saying? The A word, to no longer be pregnant. Allegedly, he was coercing them into getting rid of the baby. He was forcing them to against their will. So it wasn't just one pregnancy. It was multiple pregnancies. It wasn't just this one staffer. It was multiple women. Also, women were coming forward and saying that they had unwanted advances, unwanted comments, coerced interactions, that everything was not consensual with him. He's also has allegations of being a stalker. They also said that he became obsessed with one of the women that he was allegedly having an affair with. Maybe she wanted to end it. I don't know what the deal situation was, but he was stalking her and became obsessed with her. Now, that's a lot. That's definitely 100 times messier. That's definitely sick, and that's definitely deep. So again, just to sort of go over what the allegations are. Oof, it's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. Essentially, the allegations are this. Ime Udoka has been basically, and again, this is all alleged, all rumored, okay, has basically been using the female staffers at the NBA, within the Boston Celtics, as basically his own hunting ground for sex. They're saying that he was having sex with multiple women. They said that it resulted in multiple pregnancies. They're saying that all of the pregnancies, he forced them to get rid of the child. They're saying that he has stalked women. They're saying that he has been coercive with women. They're saying that he has done unwanted comments and advances towards women. Now, remember, the Boston Celtics hired a law firm to do an independent internal investigation into him. And based on that, an internal investigation, he was suspended for the year. And they said, we'll talk about, his future here at a later date, AKA he's fired. And none of the women are going to face any type of backlash for whatever involvement, whether it's consensual or non-consensual, they had in the situation. That is some deep, sick, twisted stuff. That is a lot. That is a lot. I'm going to say this. It's a lot when you just think about it. When you just think about that there is someone at your workplace who is having sex with multiple women there. The women get pregnant. They're forced to get rid of the child. He's stalking people. He's living this double life. It's a lot. Now, what do I think? I, by default, believe women or men or children. I just by default believe when it comes to that. I believe you until it's proven otherwise. So I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I think Matt Barnes was shook. I think he heard something after his little thing that he clearly believes is true. Maybe the person who told him it had the receipts. Maybe that person was a reliable source. So to me, given what Matt Barnes said, given the tweets that are coming out by other people, multiple women, pregnancies, all of this stuff, living this double life, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I really feel bad for Nia in this situation. In this situation, I don't think she knew. Some people are like, well, how do you not know? Blah, 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 blah. I don't think Nia knew. Again, I don't know her. I don't know the situation. Just on my gut feeling, I think she really was blindsided. I think she really did believe that, she had a great relationship. This was her man, the father of her child. This was her fiance. She was moving to Boston to be with him. I feel really bad for Nia. I feel really bad for their son, who's only 10. I mean, that's a big upheaval, to be moved all the way to Boston only to find out, daddy's cheating on mommy and all these allegations, and now daddy's fired and all this stuff. That's a lot. I feel really bad for the child. And I also feel bad for any of the victims, I'll say alleged, but any of the alleged victims. I also feel really bad for them about what's going on in this situation. I think that there's going to be a lot more that comes out. I think that this is, unfortunately, I think that this is the tip of the iceberg. It seemed like that there was trying to be some sort of cover up, with the first press releases, with the trickling of information. Oh, he just violated our code of conduct policy. Oh, it was just a consensual relationship with a staffer. Oh, actually that staffer is married. Oh, that staffer is married to a VP. Oh, that staffer who's married to the VP is now saying that he R-word her. Like, it's just been this trickle down effect of messiness. Oh, he R-word her. Now there's multiple women. Now there's multiple women that he coerced. Now there's multiple women he was sleeping with. Now there's multiple women who were pregnant. Now there's multiple women who was forced to get rid of their children. But now he's stalking women too. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I think at the beginning, there may have been them trying to cover up some stuff, not necessarily to protect him, but probably to protect themselves. If they're bringing on a legal team, we also have to think about the again, I'm saying alleged, but I always believe victims. With the alleged victims, what does that mean for them? Is this going to be a big settlement? You know what I mean? Because if the head coach is basically using the women there as his own, hunting ground for sex, hunting ground for stalking women, I'm pretty sure that the NBA, the Boston Celtics, are going to be either legally accountable for this or monetarily accountable for this. So I think that they're probably trying to figure out the best way to handle it internally. I bet you they're going to, I don't know, maybe do some settlements with the women, maybe figure that out. If these women are victims, and again, I'm only saying that to, protect, because everything's alleged. I always believe women, I always believe children, and I believe men. Anybody who says that they've been abused, I believe them. So, and I think that they do deserve something. If you've been forced to get rid of your child, if you've been coerced into something, you deserve compensation. We live in America, and the way we compensate people in America is with money. It's not a money grab, like some celebrities like to call it. It's not a shakedown. It's not any of that stuff. It's, we live in America, and in America, the way we give restitution for people who have been done wrong is through money. So if these women have gone through these things, they deserve a payout. They deserve some money, because that's how we do it in the world that we live in. Okay. So I'm not going to say that anyone is just claiming it's the R word to get out of having the affair or to get out of all of that stuff. I'm not going to say any of that. If that turns out to be true, then we'll talk about it when it turns out to be true. But for now, I fall on the side of believing people. This is huge. This is really sad. This is really sick. This is really, and it's also like, how long has this been going on for? For multiple women to get pregnant, for multiple women to have to get rid, like, how long has this been going on for? And how many women are there? When you think about Bill Cosby, he had hundreds of women. Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, all of these people. How many women are there? And I also think the bigger question is, does it stop at Ime? Who else was in on this? If somebody else was in on this, did he systematically sort of use the NBA and his role there as his hunting ground for women? Who else is involved? And when I mean who else is involved, who knew? Because I don't think that this happens in silence or in a silo. You know what I mean? Who else knew about it? Who knew about it? Who enabled it? And who participated in it? Because as we know, when these stories break, when it's multiple women, multiple victims, multiple people, it never just stops at the celebrity. R. Kelly was completely enabled to do what he did. Everybody knew he was throwing these weird culty parties at his house. He was completely enabled. So many people knew what he was doing. So my bigger question is, and I think that this is the tip of the iceberg with this, I think that a lot of more heads are going to roll, and I think a lot more is going to come out. Who knew? Who enabled? And who participated? We may never know, but I don't think that it was. If these allegations are true, Ime did not act alone. If these allegations are true, Ime did not act alone. Someone enabled him, someone helped him, and more likely than not, other people probably participated in it too. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you believe these allegations? Do you believe that he got multiple women pregnant? He coerced them into getting rid of their babies? Do you believe that he R-worded the wife of the VP? Do you believe that he coerced other women? Do you believe that he was stalking women that he became obsessed with? Do you believe that Nia didn't know? In my gut, I don't think she knew. I think she's a victim as well in this situation. And do you kind of agree with me? Who else was involved? And that we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. He may be the figurehead. They may use him as sort of the figurehead that goes down for it. But in my gut, if this is true, more people were involved in this situation. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below in the comment box. And before you do that, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with a friend, because a kiki and a little bit of conspiracy is always better with community. And also, don't forget to check out the description box below, where we have a ton of goodies, and also shop the love collection. Treat yourself and treat somebody that you love. We all need a little love after today's video. It's really sick. It's very disturbing. It's very messy. And like I said, I think this is the tip of the iceberg. Whether or not we actually get the real information, whether we find out who all has been involved, I don't know. But I think that this is just the tip of the iceberg, unfortunately. So be careful with yourself and be gentle with yourself today, guys. If this video was triggering at all, reach out for help, reach out for support. Yeah, I love you guys. Okay, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go.